Yo, what's going on, guys? Riot here on Goji Center. Today we're gonna learn about Godzilla and Mothra's alliance, because so many people out there ship them together because y'all's a disgusting community of sickos, but there's a lot of other people who just want to know what goes on between these two scientifically. Also, check it out. Goji Center sent me an entire Goji size chart, which is freaking awesome, dude. Like, there's so many sizes on this thing. I should have asked them to sign it, actually. That would have been the coolest thing ever. Why didn't I think of that? All right.
Godzilla, they got a thing going on?
Yes, they do.
Okay, god damn it. So this is why we gotta do this video. The amount of people I've banned from my Roblox Discord that's mostly kaiju based for just disgusting Godzilla Mothra stuff is insane, and this better not inspire more of it.
And the reason you're probably watching this video is to better understand this weird phenomena. Today, we will go over all the evidence and clues that will give us a full understanding of how this relationship between Mothra and
Why'd you show
Godzilla
his
really
genitals?
works, including how burning Godzilla functions. If you enjoy our content and haven't subscribed yet, hit that red button below so we can continue to fill your feed with really fun kaiju content. And go buy some merch and posters if you haven't yet.
Hey, that's the poster I got. Hell yeah, dude. That's crazy. Small world. That one looks awesome too. Shit, I'm never happy. There's always more.
Before we begin, there's one word we really need you to get familiar with. Symbiosis, which is defined as a sort of interaction between two completely different organisms that will affect both species, sometimes in a positive way. If this sounds a bit outlandish, then guess what? It isn't. Some real-life examples include the beneficial symbiosis between the Nile crocodile and the plover, a bird that provides free dental care to this dude and in return feeds on the leftover flesh.
There's actually so many examples for that in nature. I was gonna list more, but who cares about that right now?
Pilot fish swim dangerously close to sharks, but they're here to feed off of parasites, leaving the sharks squeaky clean and also feeding them
This
at
is
the
my
same
example.
time. The point is, there are a lot of even more crazy real-world relationships out there, so having a giant lizard form some sort of mutually beneficial alliance with a super powerful moth isn't really something to be surprised about.
Especially considering most of these symbiosis or symbiotic relationships that exist today aren't nearly as old as like freaking millions of years old kaiju. It makes perfect sense.
And according to the MonsterVerse lore, these two go way back.
Exactly.
Number 1, symbiotic history. Both Godzilla and Mothra are very old kaiju in their own ways. If you saw our Battle Face-Off video featuring Mothra, you would have learned that this kaiju has the ability to reincarnate and keep the memories of each incarnated Mothra, meaning that over the past millions of years, Mothra and Godzilla have known each other for a very long time.
That's
even
beautiful.
If Mothra perished repeatedly. In a few clips from a couple MonsterVerse films, we witness cave paintings drawn by ancient civilizations that depict Mothra's close alliance with Godzilla, always flying next to him when facing another foe. But why exactly did they become friends or allies?
That's insane, actually. If you think about how close their relationship is, they've been in battles together for like millions of years. That's freaking nuts.
Remember, this type of symbiosis is a result of two organisms mutually benefiting from each other's existence. So these two had to share a common interest in order for them to form a bond. The answer could be found in both of these animals' moral compasses. Mothra, being a benevolent titan, has a positive regard for humanity, always seeming to be a protector of some sort, and even going as far as refusing to willingly kill humans, even if provoked. If you didn't know, MonsterVerse's Mothra
That is crazy.
actually had an additional symbiotic relationship with humans themselves. Mothra would protect these groups of people, and in turn, these people protected its egg. But back to the G-Man. Godzilla quite honestly couldn't care less about a few squashed humans.
I'm zoning out because I am learning about so much beautiful history right now. Usually I'd be commentating more, but it's like, damn, dude, that's actually
But
awesome.
it is his role to keep a balance in nature, often fighting other kaiju that could potentially end the human race,
I'm a little confused on Godzilla's standpoint. He protects the natural order and stuff, right? But he gets pissed off at a monkey and blows a hole in the planet. Where's the line drawn, you know?
thus bringing peace and order to the entire planet, something Mothra also wants. In return, Mothra has helped Godzilla in combat many times, sometimes going as far as sacrificing herself for Godzilla, all for the greater good. So we see now that both of these titans benefit from having each other as allies, but there's more to this. As
There's
mentioned
gotta
earlier,
be.
this relationship has lasted for a long time. So much, in fact, that both of these titans started to develop certain physical traits.
Dude, I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt, but this cave painting right here, this guy right below Godzilla's hand on a horseback, obviously there's people fighting alongside Godzilla and Mothra against Ghidorah, but can you imagine a time when freaking going on horseback against Monster Zero? Like, Jesus Christ, how did his massive balls fit on that horse?
So much, in fact, that both of these titans started to develop certain physical traits that further strengthened their bond.
Ooh.
Number 2, shared physical attributes. After millions of years of coexistence, Godzilla and Mothra eventually developed bodily traits that helped them cooperate more effectively.
That's
Let's
crazy.
begin with communication. In this type of mutualistic symbiosis, it was imperative for them to be able to know each other's whereabouts at all times, in case one of them got into trouble, which in many of these cases, it was the G-Man. For this reason, it is possible that over time, both Godzilla and Mothra tuned themselves to understand each other via sonar. In Mothra's case, she is capable of amplifying sounds that Godzilla can actually understand. In 2019, in the film Godzilla, King of the Monsters, we see Mothra emitting her God Ray ability while hovering above Godzilla's possible location.
Bam,
After
let's
some
pray.
acoustic scans, it was evident that Mothra was actually communicating with Godzilla at that given moment. This attunement to each other's frequencies had to be the result of millions of years of evolution instigated by constant cooperation. But there's more. A lot more. Take a look at Mothra's wing pattern.
Okay, I took a lot of pre-workout before this video. My body's starting to violently vibrate and shake uncontrollably, but I'm with it. This video is keeping me alive right now.
It is mentioned by official sources that these rounded shapes found on the tips of these wings are actually meant to resemble Godzilla's own eyes.
What?
In the real world, it is
I knew they
theorized
were-
by
I knew they were a
scientists
face,
that real
but-
moth eye patterns are used as an intimidation mechanism to ward off predators that look at the moth as its next potential meal.
It was always so obviously a face in Mothra's wings, as many moths do in nature, yeah, but I never put together that it was actually Godzilla's face.
If this logic is migrated into the monsterverse, then Mothra couldn't have slapped a better pair of eyeballs on her wings. As we can see, this symbiotic relationship runs deep within these kaiju. But did you know that Godzilla has other types of symbiosis with other kaiju? If you're
No.
enjoying this video, please don't forget to like this video and most importantly, subscribe. Number 3.
I already subscribed under my job.
Not every type of symbiosis is a positive one. The definition that we gave earlier actually applies to one type of symbiotic
Is it Muto? Is it gonna be Muto?
relationship known as mutualism, where both parties are positively affected. Other types of symbiosis include commensalism, competition, neutralism, and finally, predation and parasitism.
Woo!
We are
Muto!
going to focus on these two. Parasitism is where one animal feeds on the other and the latter is negatively affected. And
Oh,
predation is
God.
obviously the relationship between predator and prey, where the predator benefits and the prey, well, it's dead. Sound familiar? Yep, by this definition, Godzilla and the Mutos share this type of symbiosis.
You're damn right.
Especially with this one, the Muto Prime, who fills up for both of these categories, implanting eggs in Godzilla specimens and having them feed on the Gojira until it is fully depleted of radiation
Freaking
and
gnarly,
consequently
dude.
dies. This form of detrimental symbiosis should not be assimilated with Mothra's. With her, it's the complete opposite. Number 4, the thermonuclear
This is where it
state.
gets scientific
If
right
we
here.
go back to the events that happened in Boston in 2019, you'll recall that Mothra was the one who gave up her life protecting Godzilla while granting her so-called life energy over to Godzilla.
This is about to settle so many arguments in my Discord over the course of time. Oh my god. So many people said that when Ghidorah was biting on the Godzilla, that he was absorbing his nuclear energy and could have possibly gone nuclear Ghidorah also. And that was just like the most outlandish shit I've ever heard in my life.
Allowing him to turn into this monster. But does Mothra really need to die in order for Godzilla to turn into this thermonuclear state?
Figure, yeah.
The answer? Maybe. But we simply don't know yet. We aren't gonna pretend we know the answer for this.
I
but
will.
What Mothra can do is provide Godzilla with help, while she's alive or dead. In this case, Mothra sacrificed herself. And it just so happened that she died very close to Godzilla.
I mean, you can't ignore the fact that that sprinkly Mothra crap fluttered down onto Godzilla, and wherever it landed, he'd go slightly nuclear as it absorbed into
As
his
if
skin.
this whole stunt was almost meticulously planned, allowing this said energy to be absorbed through Godzilla's receptive skin.
Exactly.
Here we can see that he starts glowing with a reddish-orange hue between the scales, signifying that at some point this energy will have been completely absorbed by Godzilla, turning him into burning Godzilla.
Exactly.
Perhaps the most notable evidence of Godzilla's symbiosis with Mothra can be seen whenever Godzilla emits its most powerful weapon, known as a nuclear pulse. This is a burst of extremely superheated nuclear energy that builds up on the dorsal plates, which
Gotta
is
love that
then
noise.
released on a spherical-shaped radius. It's safe to say that absolutely nothing is completely safe from this explosion. The interesting part is that we can see Mothra's wing patterns emitted in the form of visible light.
And you can hear it.
suggesting
It's so
that,
beautiful.
one, either this particular wing pattern evolved to resemble Godzilla's burning state, or two, Godzilla's genetic composition that builds up this thermostate evolved to resemble Mothra's wing pattern.
That is actually, I guess I should just keep watching because this just spiked so many questions in my head.
But there's even more. Listen closely to the sound of this nuclear pulse. Did
yeah.
you hear that? That noise that was emitted by this pulse also resembled Mothra's cry. So what about Godzilla's anatomy allows this to happen? Again, as mentioned earlier, symbiosis does not stop at basic coexistence between two species. In many cases, mutualistic symbiosis triggers genetic transformations that over time resemble the physical attributes of the symbiotic partner. In other words, Mothra and Godzilla's abilities and attributes evolved to behave like the other. This sound in Godzilla's nuclear pulse is further evidence that Godzilla and Mothra could possibly emit sounds that mimic one another.
Okay, if Godzilla could naturally produce that sound, that'd be amazing, and it would explain how they could communicate across the planet super duper easy, but it is also pretty freaking coincidental that he just absorbed Mothra seconds before using nuclear powers and making Mothra noises and visualizing Mothra wings. It's just a pretty big coincidence, that's all I'm saying.
Which is why they understand each other. Today we learned that apart from sharing a mutual and beneficial relationship, this duo has proven to be one of the most efficient, communicative, and powerful alliances in this kaiju universe. But are there other powerful dynamic Titan duos out there? Let us know which one is your favorite, and
that's a good
stay
question.
tuned to find out which one could potentially be the most powerful.
I feel like Ghidorah and Rodan, had they really worked together, could have been a freaking dream team, dude. Because Rodan can fly at the speed of sound, weighs 44k tons. Like, dude is a freaking meteor at any point you call him. They could have really worked better.
Please like and subscribe if
Absolutely.
you haven't already, and we will see you in the next video.
Dude, that was freaking awesome, though. Oh my god. It is very interesting, though. It's all about the conversation between if Godzilla adapted to make the noises and visuals because they evolved together over millions of years, or if he did just happen to absorb Mothra's life force, and that's why the whole thing, like, but it's very, there's so much stuff to discuss. Either way, Goji Center is freaking awesome. If you're not subscribed, you should definitely already be. Leave a like, subscribe here too, and we'll see you next time. Peace!